So for step 8, the rear arms, we're going to put the two sides together. And for this step, I think we're going to start with this side first. So you can see that we have the two pieces that we need. We have C11 from the parts tree, and we have K5, which is this piece from the parts tree as well. So this is the side we're going to work on. So we'll first put the bearings into that part, grease this up, put that in, and you can see that the MA7 screw, that one there, the large pin, is going to go through the other side, and it's going to screw in on its own into that piece. Now the one thing to make note here, there are two types of plastic in Tamiya kits, and this is a soft plastic. Okay, so there's the hard plastics, like what we've built the gearbox with. That's a hard plastic. That means when you screw in a screw, when you get to the end point, you know you're at the end point. But when you're screwing into soft plastic, you can over tighten or strip the screw. So be careful to recognize the two types of plastic, and you usually can. There's a sense of like there's a bit of a bend in some of these parts trees. So like this, you can see this is hard plastic. You can't really bend it or move it or do anything with it. But this one, see how I can squish in the plastic? This is a soft plastic, and that came off of that parts tree, so this is soft plastic. So just be careful to note that with there being two types of plastic, be careful how much you tighten a screw into soft plastic material. So anyways, let me grab the parts for this, and we're going to put that together. So first off, let's grab one of these pieces here. You can see that there's the MA29, which are the plastic bushings, but we are replacing that with full ball bearings. So we're going to snap that in. There's one. And we're going to put the other one into the other side. And there it is down there. So both those bearings are in. Now with this, it's showing you they want you to grease this up. So well, let's do just that. We're gonna grease this up. Now remember, I've always said with the bearings that I don't usually put grease on, but because this is actually a driving, cup essentially that's moving all the time, I'm doing it anyway, whether I've got bearings in there or not. So you can see that that's going to go in there, and now it's nice and smooth, and the grease is going to, give it a little bit more freedom, because you can feel it's a really nice smooth movement. So that's that. So now we're going to grab this K5 piece, and you can see how that looks there in terms of the shaping. You can see here that that's where that hole is, so you know that that is the direction it needs to be. So we're going to take this pin, and I'm just going to put it in a little bit, make sure that it fits. Then we're going to put that through, and then I'll slide that pin through the hole. There we go. And then it's into the other side. But you see the screw can't go any farther because it's going to screw into that plastic. So we'll take this screwdriver and we'll start spinning it in. Now I can tell that it's a softer plastic, so I will go all the way, but I'm not going to over tighten. I'm just going to go to the end where the head hits the plastic. And as soon as I feel any resistance, I'm going to stop. So there we have one side. So that's relatively easy, but that's done. So now we can do the other side. So again, with the second side, same thing again. Pop that bearing in, and pop the other bearing in down there. And that's now down inside there, so we're good to go. So then we're going to grab our joint and grease it all up. Just like that. And again, slide that through there. So then that part is done. Then we're going to grab this piece, which is now going to be the reverse of what we did on this side. So we're going to put that in place, and we're going to slide our pin through the side, through the hole to the other end. And as you can see, we're going to need to screw that in. So grab our handy dandy screwdriver. And again, this is the soft plastic, and you'll notice it as you're screwing it in. There is a difference in the feel. So I'm going to tighten it. I'm at the end, but I'm not going to over tighten it. And there we go. So now we have the two halves ready to go. So that step is finished. So now we can move on to step 9, which is attaching the rear arms.